What an end to the match at Selhurst Park. A stoppage time equaliser with a stunning free kick from Michael Olise has got Crystal Palace a draw at home against Manchester United, who were so close to moving to within 6 points of Arsenal at the top of the table. Let's hear from that man, Wilfred Zaha and Will Hughes. They've been talking to us at the end of the match.
Will, was that a moment of absolute magic that rescued a really precious point for Palace?
I think it was, yeah. We've been going through a difficult period of late, and sometimes you need a bit of magic like that from those sorts of players. We've got plenty of it in the team. Olise, Wilf, Ebbs. We've got individual talent, so I think it was a good point in the end.
Say magic, Wilf. How good was it?
It was amazing. Obviously, we know we've got the talent in the team, and one thing that the gaffers cracked on about is just contesting the games, and the talent just shows through in the end. Like today, managed to get a point.
You think that's what you added tonight? The grit, the determination, never giving up, no matter how deep into injury time.
Yeah, I think that's what the team needs. That was the difference today. Just never say die attitude, and every 50-50 going in at 100%. And obviously we got what we deserved. We didn't even won it at the end.
Do you think you were through then? I'm afraid Aaron caught up with you.
Any other player, as I'm running through, I looked back, I had a little look back and I thought, oh my God, it's Aaron. He's the only one that can do the scoop tackle. So yeah, it was a great tackle. I can't say anything about it.
Maybe that's the mark of the evening. He's disappointed with a point.
Yeah, in the end, it's fine margins, isn't it? But like Will said, we know we've got the talent in the squad, but of late it's doing the basics and winning your duels and contesting, and I think we did a lot of that tonight, and sometimes we get the rub of the green and 1-1 will take it.
But a point against the most informed team in the Premier League, what else does it give you more than the actual point itself?
Hopefully a bit of momentum and belief, because like you said, of late they're bang on form. Their managers changed their fortunes around this season, and they're a top team, so to go toe-to-toe with them and not be gutted with a point but deserved a point in the end is a good feeling.
Do you need to build on this, Wilf, particularly as well at home?
Yeah, 100%. I think that performance today, the fans deserve that. And yeah, I'm buzzing with the lads really. Like, we all worked so hard today. Obviously we're happy with the point, and it just gives us confidence going into the next games.
Also as well, you set up the start of the season very well, picked up a lot of points. You've got to be careful you don't get reeled back into the pack.
Yeah, it's about consistency. You can't get ahead of yourself, and I think on occasions this season we've not been complacent, but we've gone into games thinking we've got a bit of a right to win and not done the basics right, and I think you see tonight, when you do the basics right, you've got the talent that will shine through, so hopefully that's a mark for future games.
Great stuff, well done guys.
Cheers, Jeff.
Thank you.
Well, Crystal Palace needed a point tonight to avoid them starting to look over their shoulder, as it was just pointed out in the interview there. 4 losses in their last 5 Premier League matches was the run they were on heading into the game tonight, Clinton. It was that sensational free kick that won them the point in the end. And when you hear the way the players were speaking at the end there, they almost seemed disappointed they didn't come away with a winner.
Yeah, I think they're disappointed didn't come away with a winner, because it's a chance at the end with Wilfred Zaha, and me and Michael were talking about it. Michael made a great point. He should have gone across Wan-Bissaka, because you know what Aaron Wan-Bissaka's like. In those situations, he's one of the best for me in the Premier League, because he'll get back, and the timing of his tackle was superb. But Palace needed that. They've been struggling to score goals, and you look at the attacking players that they have, they should be scoring more goals. But I think Matt Holland alluded to it. They are missing a number 9 who can put the ball in the net. They've got a lot of creative players, but that will give them confidence moving forward, because their fixture list coming up is really tough.
Yeah, as for Manchester United, they'd looked pretty comfortable for the majority of the match until a bit of a spell in that second half, and particularly right at the end of the game, Michael. So let's take a look at Bruno Fernandes' goal, which came in the first half. At this point, it did feel as though Manchester United were fully deserving of the lead. How did they create this goal?
Yeah, it took them a while in the first half to get that opener, but I think based on the half-time that we saw, they were probably worthy of a 1-0 lead. We mentioned Weghorst in the first half, and this run that he made took both defenders with him. It was a great bit of run, just leaves that space for Fernandes, and he takes a touch. He does well because he can panic, he could hit it first time. He realises he's got time, and he takes his touch and plants it in the back of the net, which changes Ten Hag's team talk at half-time. And I just felt that as soon as Crystal Palace scored the equaliser, Manchester United showed that they had other gears, they could have gone on. And we spoke as well, Jules, you mentioned the stat that Manchester United have not conceded any points from a winning position. And you could see that with his substitutes in the second half, started bringing off a few attacking players, bringing on defensive midfield players, tried to really shore it up as opposed to going for the second goal. But obviously that backfired in the end. Yeah,
and then the equaliser came in stoppage time. Crystal Palace didn't have a great deal of chances throughout the match, but they made this one count.
Yeah, Man United restricted them, but this was a fantastic free kick. I literally said, what's he doing? Because he put it in the box because I didn't think he could score from there, but he proved me wrong. It's a fantastic free. Had to be something good to beat David De Gea this evening. Fantastic form, but the wall's small. Me and Michael were talking about that is a small wall, but you got to give credit to Olise. Even if they had a big wall, I think the accuracy and the way it dips and hits the crossbar, it's a fantastic free.
Do you mean in terms of the height of the players in the wall?
Yeah, small wall and nobody lying underneath it, which we've seen a lot of time as well. The only thing, and people that watch this show would have heard me saying it before, and I'll say it again, I don't for the life of me know why teams put their wall on that side of the goal. It's the short way to goal where he's going. You see De Gea, as the ball's going, he's looking around the wall.
So you think the wall...
2/3 of the goal up there.
So where you think the wall should move?
If the ball goes on the other side, De Gea goes 2 yards to the left.
It's a harder free kick.
It's a harder free kick, and it's a longer way to go to that far top corner as it is to the near top. You've got lots more time as a goalkeeper. It's a short route. You've got no one lying there. You've got a tiny wall. And you've got De Gea peering round it, giving 2/3 of the goal up. I just think you make it...
I've never heard that, Mike. I'm going to start using that. That's a good... It makes sense, though. It is right, because if you're moving it there and De Gea's here, it's a harder free kick to get over.
Yeah, look at him. And he's giving away 2/3 of the goal.
No, you're right. You are right.
And he's making it a shorter distance from ball to goal by letting him go for that near corner. And I'm not blaming De Gea. Every team seems to do it. Yeah. So... Yeah. Obviously, I'm wrong, but I just can't for the life of me.
I don't know if you are wrong. I'm going to get that out there. I'm going to get out there.
When you're done with this TV luck, maybe you could go into set piece coaching.
I'm sweating now. I don't know about it because it happens all the time. I just don't know why.
It's hot in there, mate. Don't worry. You're not sweating because you're angry.
Well, we talked about the chances that Crystal Palace had late on, that Wilfried Zaha one, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But Casemiro has this ridiculously good chance to get a winner for Manchester United, which would have put them to within 6 points of Arsenal at the top of the table. How does he miss this? What goes wrong?
He's still dreaming of or thinking about missing the Arsenal game, I'm sure, with that booking. He's not sure, I think, whether to go with his head. You look here, he sort of dips his head as if to... And he just doesn't... He's just not expecting it. That's the bottom line. He thinks someone in front of him is going to get a nick. And... I'm pretty sure if that was a centre forward, he'd have that sort of anticipation and knock it into an empty net, but just wasn't there.
You've missed a few like that, Clinton, haven't you?
No chance. Absolutely no chance.
If it was him, he would.
If it was me, he even said it.
We were rubbish. From 2 yards out.
2 yards out, that was the best. I knew I was waiting for that, Jules.
What a chance that was. Let's take a look at the one that Wilfried Zaha had. With it, to be honest, more than anything, this is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who we all think had a pretty good 90 minutes tonight overall. But this challenge late on, Wilfried Zaha is through on goal. If he doesn't put this tackle in, this is a certain goal, isn't it?
His recovery is brilliant. Look, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's behind, but Wilf's got to go across him that way. Instead, he takes it to the left. And he just said in his interview, he looked behind and thought it's Azza, which is Wan-Bissaka, and he thinks, I'm not getting there, because he can... he loves that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka game, he loves the tackling like that. If Wilf goes across the defender, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got a problem then, and he's in on goal. But when he takes it that way, it's a brilliant tackle. And I thought Wan-Bissaka has been outstanding. And credit to him, because he got a lot of stick. Everyone ridiculed him, said he wasn't good enough. Last 5 games, I think he's been outstanding for Man United.
Yeah, he's come in when Dallow's been injured. Dallow picked up an injury during the World Cup, so Aaron Wan-Bissaka's been playing probably more than he may have expected to. But when you go back to your old club like he did tonight, does it just give you that little bit of extra that you want to put in an even better performance?
I think it does, yeah. And I think when the team sheets came out and Wilfried Zaha saw that Wan-Bissaka was going to be marking him in that game, he would have been thinking, oh, no, because no player wants to play against the likes of Wan-Bissaka. His problem, obviously, is on the ball, is going forward, but he's improving that all the time as well. But as Clinton says, that was Wan-Bissaka to a T. That is the best part of his game, that late lunging tackle where he almost sweeps his leg around. And we could see it coming. And Clinton's right. If he takes his first touch across him, he takes Wan-Bissaka out the game straight away. He doesn't give him that chance to make a last-ditch tackle. But he played well. And in fact, Zaha, after only... Well, he was Jordan's first half. He switched sides. Yeah. He was getting no joy out of him. And not many wingers do get joy out of a Wan-Bissaka. But as I say, from Manchester United's point of view, you need your full-backs to be brilliant at the back, but going forward as well. And that's slightly where he lacks.
We saw a moment ago that the opportunity that Casemiro had to win the game for Manchester United in the end. Scoring goals isn't the main part of his game. Being in that midfield, he has been absolutely crucial to everything Manchester United have done well, particularly since the return after the World Cup. He picks up a booking, and I think all Arsenal fans around the world will have been jumping for joy because it means he misses the game against Arsenal at the weekend. But Man United fans will be thinking, why? Why did this have to happen?
Yeah, I'm gutted because you want to see the best players playing in that because that's going to be a hell of a game. I think he doesn't know what's behind. He doesn't have to make that tackle. I think he's thinking, we've lost the ball. It's Wilfried Zaha. He's one-on-one with me. He goes past me. But Varane's behind him. And I still think Zaha's got a lot to do. But it's instinct in that position, and that's what Casemiro does. It's an instinct. That's what he does. He broke up loads of play today. I thought he was outstanding again, and he just lunges, and he deserves that yellow card. But I'm absolutely gutted, and you can see his manager's gutted, thinking maybe I should have took him off early. But you can't take him off early. The game's 1-0. Still in the knife edge there. You can't take him off. So I think he's just got to be more sensible next time he makes that tackle.
You can see the reaction from Erik ten Hag. You can see the reaction from Casemiro, who knows exactly what it means. And I think Bruno Fernandes is one of the first players to go over to him after that as well. And you can see them almost having a conversation about it. How much of a loss will he be in that Arsenal game? Yeah,
massive loss. I mean, you get away without Casemiro in certain games. If they were playing at home to somebody next, a team outside the top 4 or 5, then, it's not so bad. But when you play against the big boys, when you play against the best teams, you have to have absolutely everybody, all your best players, fit and ready to go. And that is a massive blow. They all knew it. He shrugged his shoulders as if to say, I couldn't do anything, but he could have. I think Clinton's right. He could have. I don't think it was, Varane was behind him. It wasn't an absolute last-ditch challenge. And Ten Hag, you saw his reaction as well. So, yeah, that's one of the... I mean, it was a bitter blow. That last 10 minutes was a nightmare for them. They lose one of the best players for a big game, and they concede a goal, lose 2 points. And Clinton's right. You can't bring him off. At 1-0, it goes to show they went and equalised. You can't risk bringing him off. So, yeah, a disaster 10 minutes for Manchester United. OK, let's get some reaction now from the Manchester United camp. Here's Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno, how tough is that to take? Does it feel like a really missed opportunity?
No, as I said before the game, we knew it was pretty tough to play here. We could even lose the game today, so I think we're not happy with the draw. We had our chances. We should took our chances before, closed the game, but we didn't, and they had a great goal at the end. So nothing that we can do now. We just have to look forward. 1 point away. Obviously, we wanted 3 points every time. Today was not possible, but we have to look forward and go for the next one.
Do you think that's what cost you all 3 points tonight, not taking your chances, as opposed to the actual late goal from Crystal Palace?
No, I think we had our chances, as I said. We could have closed the game, but we didn't. We missed them, or sometimes we miss one pass more, or the cross was not good enough, the pass was not good enough, and sometimes it happens. They had that opportunity. Amazing goal from them. Nothing to say. As I said, 1 point. We are not happy with that, but we have to look forward now. Other games are coming, so we have to understand that we're still doing good things. Grab on that and understand what was the problems today to don't do it in the next one.
How convinced were you that you should have had a penalty?
I don't know. On the pitch, it seems that Scott gets into the ball, and the guy from Crystal Palace tried to tackle him, and the referee said it was not a try to tackle Scott or whatever, but decisions can go either way. So we can't be worried about that now. It's gone. Nothing that we can do about that. So as I said, look forward to the next game, because it's a big game again. Another one that we want the 3 points.
And is it the same as the winning run? You've got to forget it about. It's gone. Now let's start the next run.
Yeah, it's always the same. Either way, the result. We have to think every game in the same way. So we go now for the next one. Really disappointed with the result today, but we know that it's close. The next one, so we have to prepare the game. It's not too much time to prepare it and to recover. So we have to put our focus straight on that.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a look at that penalty claim that Bruno Fernandes was talking about there. This, by the way, was in the 71st minute, Michael, and it was McTominay who threw on goal and is tackled by Richards of Crystal Palace. What do you think, penalty or no penalty?
I thought penalty, I must admit. He makes a good run, McTominay. Richards makes a bit of a, I wouldn't say a lunging challenge, but he makes a movement towards him, and McTominay gets there first. I think it's a penalty, but what I also know is that the threshold now for these VAR decisions and for them to be turned around has to be really high. It has to be virtually a clanger that the referee makes for them to, you know, if there's any doubt whatsoever, then it's not clear and obvious. And I think we're reverting back to that. So as soon as he didn't give it, I said to Clint at the time, he won't change that, despite me thinking it's a penalty.
And that was at 1-0 in the game. So had United been awarded the penalty and scored it, they would have been 2-0 up and potentially a different ending.
Oh, yeah,
to the
it would have
match.
been game over if it goes to 2-0.
What do you think, penalty or not?
No, I thought at the time it was a penalty. But after hearing how Michael, how the rules changing a bit, it was never going to get overturned there. But you can see here...
McTominay gets the ball first, and there is contact.
Richard, and then you look at certain angles, it looks like McTominay touches, and Richards doesn't touch McTominay, but could get a slim touch on it. But I'm looking at different angles, it looks like, for me, it's a penalty. If it wasn't given against me, I'd be going mad, Jules. So, and if the penalty was given on the other side, I'd be going mad. So I still I don't know. I literally don't know.
Well, penalty wasn't given. It's just one of those that doesn't go your way on the day, perhaps. One of the other big talking points of the game was David De Gea's incredible saves. He made one in each half. Let's have another look at them, because the first one came before any goals in the match were scored. And this almost looked like a certain goal for Crystal Palace. It's a brilliant strike, but what a save.
Well, Jules, every goalkeeper in the Premier League would have saved the second one, I'm pretty certain of it. Not many would save that. That is got to be the save of the season so far. I'm struggling to think of any other save that was better than that one. I expect him to make that save. He does well, actually. Not the keeping the ball out, but to actually punch it away to safety was good. But that first save was world class. And as I say, could be in all the running for the best save of the season come the end of the season. Yeah,
the second one, as Michael points out, probably expect him to save it, but it was probably the timing of the match. It felt like Crystal Palace were just on the up and started to create a few chances, which is probably why it felt so crucial. Yeah,
it's a crucial save, but I think Michael's spot on. You expect David De Gea to do that. The form he's in at the moment, after that excellent save in the first half, that's food and drink for him. But I'll tell you what he does well. He punches it away, doesn't punch it back into danger. Good punch. But the first half save, fantastic. I shouted goal. I thought it was a goal. I was running around, but great save.
All right, let's get some reaction now from the Manchester United manager, Erik ten Hag.
Eric, what's your analysis of the game and the result?
I think we controlled the game. We scored a good goal first half. I wouldn't say it was a top performance, but it was okay. It was in control. Great save. That was, I think, the only chance Crystal Palace produced. And I think we had a couple of good opportunities and we scored a great goal. And the second half, I think, was the same. We had control of the game, but I think we have to invest more for the second. If you then score 2-0, then game is over. And now you get hammered with an unlucky moment in the end.
How much do you feel that it slipped away from you? It was there for the taking, all 3 points.
Yeah, clear. If you concede a goal 2 minutes or 1 minute beforehand, then it's difficult to react anymore. Although we had the chance to score the 2-1 with Casemiro, but yeah, that's what it is. And we have to take the lesson, invest more for the second goal.
Casemiro had a bad night, of course, because he picked up that booking as well. What was your view on the booking? Do you think that was because of the type of player he was and the situation, it was just instinctive for him to do that, or should he have known better?
I think it's what you say, it's instinctive. He went for the ball. I think he missed the ball, but it's quite clear it was also a situation over our right side, what could have been a dangerous situation. He wants to stop it. And that was his reaction, quite clear. But as I said, we have to invest more for the second goal, and then you don't come in such situations.
Were you about to take him off anyway? And also, how big a miss will he be against Arsenal?
Last time we beat Arsenal without Casemiro, and so this time we have to do the same.
What did you make of Wout Weghorst's performance this evening, and how he fitted in, and how his teammates fitted in alongside him?
I think he did quite well. I think, of course, he has to make adjustments to his game, to our game. He doesn't know our way of play, so it was a really short briefing to bring him in. Less training, so no training, no games. So first time, a couple of days here, and I think he did quite well in all the elements of football.
How much is your job now as the coach to lift everybody that the winning run is over?
It happened. You can't change this anymore. And just sat in the dressing room, and we're looking forward and get energy. Look to Arsenal, and we will make a proper plan. And players have to make sure they are ready for that game, because it's a top game, and it's fantastic to play such games. So we are looking forward, and we will have convincement to bring a good performance there and to win the game.
Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
Erik ten Hag doesn't seem fazed by the fact Casemiro will be missing that game against Arsenal on Sunday. Not as fazed as the majority of the rest of football fans around the world, knowing that he's going to miss that game, Michael.
Absolutely, no. He spoke well there. I agreed with everything he said, apart from when he said Casemiro went for the ball. The yellow card. I mean, unless the ball was around Zaha's hip somewhere, then I didn't see that one. But everything else was true. This is a massive game for Manchester United. If they get beat, then they're not in the title race. But if they win, all of a sudden it's game on. So huge game.
Before kick-off tonight, we were talking about Manchester United putting themselves in that title race. They're 8 points behind Arsenal now heading into that match. How do you see it now they've dropped points tonight?
Yeah, they just have to win. They can't lose. If they lose on the weekend, they're not in it. It's between Man City and Arsenal. I know Newcastle are amongst it, but I just think Newcastle to finish in the top four be an outstanding season. But I just feel if they lose that game on the weekend, it's all over. The gap will be too big. Arsenal are in fantastic form at the moment. They will miss Casemiro. I know Erik ten Hag said they won before. They will miss Casemiro. He's a different player, and he's been outstanding recently.
They haven't... Crystal Palace don't play anyone below them in the table until April. Although they picked up a point tonight, can they get dragged into a relegation battle, Clinton?
They're 8 points adrift. I don't think they can. I think that point will help them. I was a bit worried, and the games they've got coming up are really tough. But I think they've got enough creative players to go and cause other teams, some of the big teams, problems. So I think they'll be fine come the end of the season. Well, I hope so. And we got Brighton soon, and we always beat Brighton. So.
He had to get a Brighton dig in there somewhere, didn't he? Well, it was a well-earned point for Crystal Palace in the end at Selhurst Park. Manchester United dropping points after leading for most of the game. Thanks, both of you, for tonight. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.